Yeah, I think maybe the result feels a bit harsh in the end. Um, you know, it was one a fantastic goal to win a match. To be fair, but I thought we should have at least stopped him. Foul with three guys around him, allowed him to go through. But fantastic finish. It's always tough after you miss a penalty too to um, you know feel like you have the game a little bit. But I thought we were good for the first 35 minutes of the first half, and I thought we were good for the first 35 minutes of the second half. Really, I thought we tailed off at the end of two halves.
The question here from Charlie.
Yeah. Hey Martin. It was a bit of a different attacking look for you guys up front. With Mateo and Eduardo in the wings, and obviously Lowell playing off Osaze. Just what did you kind of make of the way you guys were maybe able to get into the final third, and was it just maybe just that final ball kind of missing today?
Yeah, I think so. I thought we got into a lot of good areas. Our decision making in the final third wasn't great or at our best, especially in the first half. I felt, we had instead of getting the ball wide, we were trying to force it through the middle where they had numbers. So that was a bit frustrating at times. But I thought we got into some good areas. Just weren't quite sharp in the final third or around the goal.
And just did you make any kind of changes at halftime or anything? Because you seemed to come out of the break with a lot of energy and really seemed to be attacking like right out of that break.
I don't know. We didn't really make changes. If you made him aware of a few things tactically that we thought we could take advantage of, and kind of gave him a little kick out the butt because I don't think we were at our best to end the half, and I don't even think it was our best half in general. So just demanded more out of them. And to be fair, they came out flying. We came out flying and really gave a good effort. Got the penalty, but weren't able to capitalize. But all in all, as I said, withdrawal is probably a fair result, but these things happen. Great finish by Rhea, and it's they get the points.
Just to play great.
No, not really. It's just a good team, Yes, last year we were fighting with them to have a spot on the playoffs. So every time we play against each other, there's always a bit of rivalry, like you said. We fight, both team want to win, so nothing crazy. Yeah, it is. It is because second half, first half they have a lot of chance at the end, but we started second half the good way. I think so. We have a lot of chance all second half. I think they didn't have like more than two shots, so we really disappointed to take a goal at the end of the game like that. Like we felt like we just give up the fans and people home like that. So I think next game we're gonna get back stronger. We need to.
Can you give us any thoughts on playing against a goalie like Jonathan Sirois versus other leagues? Or is there a difference when you guys are preparing against him?
No, not really. He's a good keeper, like all other keeper in the league, like us keeper also. So for us, it's just a normal keeper. We just need to finish our chance. I think that's mistake coming from us. That not he make a great save. That's true, but I think it's us. We just need to be more good in front of the net.
Well, it was an amazing goal, honestly. Like, when I saw the ball on my feet, I saw three guys around me, and I'm like, how am I going to get out of this? So my body honestly just took over, found a way out, and I'm like, this is my chance. And I just shot left corner and it went in, and it was like just a rush of emotions. It was honestly incredible. Yeah, of course, especially at home in front of the fans with the team. Couldn't have asked for a better day.
Yeah, a couple of other opportunities throughout the game. Did that feel different, or was it just that it went in that way? You guys had a lot of good play.
We did have a lot of good play. I just think this one was like at the end of the game, everyone was tired, and we needed that last effort to close the game, and I think it came at a perfect time. And we had good chances. Unfortunately, we weren't able to score earlier, but as long as we got the 3 points at the end of the day.
Are you more?
I would say so. I think last year it took me a few few games to adapt to the team, to the league, and I feel like when I got called back and I had the first game against Edmonton, it was like following into like the transition was super easy, and I thought that like I was gonna have a much better season the second time around. The first season I thought it was like a bit slow. I wasn't able to express myself as much as I wanted to. I feel that this season is really it's gonna be my season.
How much of that?
I think it's all confidence. It's having confidence in yourself, confidence in the team, and making sure that you guys are on the same page. I feel like we're building a much better connection as players to understand each other, and I think you need your teammates to perform on the field, and I think we showed a bit of that today with a lot of passes and shots on target.
We had a lot of play early in the second half.
Yeah, it was a crazy save. Like, but honestly, I had no doubt. Like, Joe thrives in these situations, and when they called the penalty, I'm like, nah, we know Joe's got this. It's like I wasn't even nervous, honestly. And he's the one who kept us in the game, gave the team a boost, and we felt it. Like that's what we needed to keep going, keep pushing, and it paid off.
Charlie, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Sean, you kind of touched on it there, but I know that you've played with and known Joe Sirois for a long time. Just how confident are you guys playing in front of him? You mentioned that you you weren't even worried when you gave up the penalty. Just he's clearly it's one of the top goalkeepers in this league, right?
Yeah, of course. That's just what Joe does. He's a great shot stopper, great with his feet, and he's just a wall in nets. Like when there's a penalty, it's not a 50-50, it's more a 70-30 in Joe's favor, honestly. It's great to have a keeper that strong in nets. It's good for the team. It's good for everybody.
I think we played a very good first half. I think that every time we were put in a bit more of a dangerous position was, a bad giveaway in our half or a poor decision on the ball. But overall, I think we were the best team in the first half, and we finished the half well. I think that we had, half chances. We were getting in behind and chances to put balls in and square balls near the 6-yard box. So I felt we should have had a goal at that point in time in the game. The games it's like that. There's going to be high moments and low moments, and you need to manage those. And they came out better in the second half. I think they adjusted the way they pressed. In the first half, Fordyce, Guti were getting a lot more time and space on the ball in our build-up phase. And then they adjusted. They went with their two of their midfielders pushing on our two midfielders, and it made it hard for us. And we started to give too many balls away in our half. And they were, I would say, for maybe 25 minutes of the second half, the best team. Then comes the PK in a moment where we were in a low, and Joe makes the save. And this is what it is. This is how football games go. We were able to take care of that moment. And then I think that the substitutions we made helped us. It gave us control again of the game. I think they were targeting a little bit our exit and our possession on the left side as a reference of pressure. And Guti just gave us a little bit of calm and composure there. And then Jacob came in the game very well. And the goal is an act of genius when you look at it again and how he gets out of that pressure and still have the ability to finish the way he finished. These are games that are decided often on one action, one play, and it went our side today. I think his confidence but it's a more mature player. It's a player that trains with a very ambitious. He trains better. He's extremely committed to the project here in Winnipeg. I think that last year when he was in Montreal and they decided to loan him, he saw that as something that was, not necessarily the best because his expectations were high. But this year, he came in knowing that it was one more step for his development and his progression. And he's a player that trains very well. His mentality, his mindset has been very good. And I think that makes a difference in the development of a young player. He sees this as an opportunity to play and to grow and get minutes, and he's done that. It was important to get this win. I think that you're going on the road for two very difficult games in Calgary and then in Pacific. And, you know, we get that draw against Halifax in a game that we kind of had to grind to get the point. And after the week that we had spent because of COVID, and then comes a Vancouver game, which is, you know, the reality, it's a bit out of context. I can't go crazy on that game. And we needed to respond. We needed to respond with a win. I think a draw today or a loss, you know, coming out of 2 home games with 1 point or 2 could be heavy. And it was, you know, I told the guys, we're going to have to find a way. Today we have to find a way to get the 3 points, and the guys did that. So it shows a lot of the character of the team. I tell the guys that you won't be able to play and be a dominant team for 90 minutes every game. There's going to be moments where things are not going your way. We still need to find a way to make sure the bounces go our way, to make sure that we come out of the duels with the advantage, that we don't lose the game or we don't concede. So I think that the guys have done that in the games, the 2 league games, where we had to deal with a lot of down moments. I go back to the Halifax game and even some moments of this game, and the truth is that we kept 2 clean sheets. So that's always going to give you a chance to win a match.
The question here from Brandon. Go ahead.
Thanks there. Hey, Phil, congratulations on the win today. Just want to ask, maybe it's a little bit too early, a little bit premature, but we are coming up on sort of the quarter mark of the season so far. And we've seen in this league that there's a ton of parity this season, more so than even in past years where there's already been a ton of parity. 5 teams currently all on 8 points, in that logjam in the table there. I'm just curious on how you approach that scenario, especially given that Valour still has a game in hand on a lot of the clubs that are behind them.
1 game at a time. That's our message. That's how we approach it. We can't be looking too far ahead. 1 game at a time. We took care of this one, and now we have to go to Calgary and just go 1 game at a time. I think that it's true what you're saying. There's a lot of parity. Any team in any given day could win a match, and it's going to be like that to the end. So I think that it's almost a scenario where every game becomes a final, and that's good for the league. It's extremely competitive. Teams know that they can't drop their levels of competitiveness. They can't drop their guard, and that's where depth is going to be tested. That's going to be an important factor in being able to sustain performances.
Much appreciated, and congratulations again on the win there.
Thank you, Brandon.
Some great play today. You talked about the grind against Halifax to get the draw. Do you find that there's any disadvantage? Because some of your most skilled players are also the smallest player on the pitch.
Yeah.
So do you find that that's an issue?
I think you need to learn how to play with that, right? Good players are going to they got to this level for a reason. They understand when to get into a certain space in a certain time where they're going to be able to create a separation, an advantage. And you're right when you say that. There's players that are growing. It's their first professional years. I give the example of a Matt Catavolo. It's part of the growth process. It's part of how a player is going to develop, being able to understand how to get out of a 1v1 situation. And you know, it's if you're not able to do that, it's going to be hard. I don't see the game as a player is good or he's not good. It's not size, it's not age. And I think that the guys we have here in the roster are players that are here for a reason. Now we have to help them. It's still a young league with very young players, and we have to help them grow, and we have to be patient with certain circumstances, and that's what we're here to do.
So you don't see the physical movements, because I'm just talking more like literally going shoulder to shoulder with guys that are almost a foot taller.
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course. We have to get out of those situations, right? These are players that have succeeded, you know. It's part of they're also very dynamic, and they bring other things to the table, and that's I know where you're getting with this question, but if not, you know, football would have become like basketball. You know, it's not the case. Some players with a lower point of gravity have the ability. Example, I don't know if a 6'4" guy would have been able to turn and get out of pressure the way Sean Rea did today. So maybe, but I think there's advantages to also, and you know, there's positional components, and you know, we were looking at our chart on set plays, where we always have the ambition to be in the plus column, more goals scored off set plays than goal conceded. Today, I mean, after 6 games, because I'll count the Vancouver game, we haven't conceded a goal on a set play situation. So size, yes, but more than that is the ability to understand the space, to defend the space so that you could intercept the ball and get on a, so there's many factors that we have to take in account.
Last call for questions for Coach.
Charlie doesn't want to talk to me today. Charlie, you're a York fan.
Absolutely not. I'll ask you a question if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just, you know, Sean was speaking very highly there of, you know, just how comfortable the guys are and how confident they are playing in front of Joe and net. Especially, he said he was never worried when he gave up a penalty. Just how good is this guy as a goalkeeper, and how good can he be?
He's very good on penalty PK situation, that we know, and he's look. What do you want me to tell you? He did what he did last year for this club, and that's why we waited so long to make sure we would get him back. And Joe is growing too. We're here every day with him, and it's not always perfect, right? His game is not perfect, but he needs to play, and he's getting that playing time. And I think he is someone that is closer and getting closer to the next level. You know that that he's always going to give you a chance to win. And I reinforce what Sean says, because, you know, we have this thing in the team where every time we're doing a small game or a small-sided situation with 2 goals, and every X amount of corner kicks, instead of corner kicks, I gave a PK. And Joe is, you know, the team that has him on a PK could start celebrating, because it's very difficult. He reads the situation very well. And today he did that. But more than the PKs, the way he manages the game, he's maturing. The way he's playing with his feet, he's maturing. His decision-making. So, yeah, it's just more games, more opportunities for him to grow. So but he's part of of this team. He's there to do that. He's there to show up in the big moments. And the same way he showed up in that moment, there's others that show up on other moments, and that's what a team is all about.